Welcome to your next maths lesson. Today we are going to be focusing on fractions greater than 1. So the learning objective is to represent fractions greater than 1. So could you please pause the video, write down your LO and then press play when you're ready to continue. Let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to do is to name the parts of the fraction. Can you remember what the top part's called and the bottom? Have a think. What's the top part called? Well done if you remember, it's the numerator. And what's the bottom part called? Well done if you remember, the denominator. Fantastic. Now, what does each part tell us? What is the numerator and what is the denominator? Have a think. Okay, the numerator, there we go, the denominator tells us and the numerator tells us. Can you finish those sentences for me? The denominator tells us how many equal groups we split the whole into. So for example, if I had a square and it was split into 4 groups, that's how many the whole has been split into. It's been split into 4 parts. And the numerator tells us how many parts of the whole we have. So with our example fraction here, 3/8, the denominator is how many equal parts we've split the whole into. That's the 8. So we'll have a shape with 8 equal parts. And then the numerator is how many parts we have. So that means I would shade in 3 parts. That's the parts that we have. Okay, what fraction is shown below? I've got 4 parts, 1 part shaded. So I've got 1/4 or 1/4 shown. How many more quarters do I need to make a whole? I need 1, 2, 3 more quarters to make a whole. Okay, so here's my 1/4. Now I've got my full 4 quarters. How else could we say that? That's 1 whole, isn't it? I've got 4 quarters, 1 whole. So now how many quarters have I got in total? I've got 4 quarters here, 1 quarter here. I've got 5 quarters. How many wholes and quarters is that? That's 1 whole and 1 quarter. So we could say that as 1 1/4 or 5 quarters. Here's a part whole model. So here I've got my total number of quarters, which is 5 quarters or 1 1/4. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarters altogether. And I'm going to split that into 2 parts. So here I've got my 4 quarters or 1, and here I've got my 1/4. So there are 5 quarters altogether. 5 quarters equals 1 whole and 1/4. You have a go at this one now. I've got some fifths here. So you can see I've got 5, 10. See how many more fifths I've got. See if you can have a go at splitting them and finishing these sentences. Pause the video and then press play when you're ready to continue. Okay, so here I've got 10 fifths. And that is 2 wholes, because you can see here with the pictures I've got 2 whole shapes, and then here I've got 3 fifths. So there are 13 fifths altogether, because I've got 5, 10, 13. 13 fifths equals 2 wholes and 3 fifths. Let's have a look at this question. How many wholes are there in this fraction? How many parts are left over? So what have we got here? We've got 8ths here. So we've got 8 eighths here, plus 2 more. So we've got 10 eighths in total. And that is the same as 8 eighths plus 2 eighths. What's that? What's the answer to that? How many wholes have I got? I've got 1 whole and 2 eighths. Let's have a go at this one. So how many holes in this fraction, how many parts are left over? So I've got 10 thirds in total, 3, 6, 9, 10. I've got 10 thirds, so that's 9 thirds here, 3, 6, 9, plus one more third equals 3 wholes and 1 third. Here are your challenges. So I want you to choose a mild, spicy or extra hot challenge, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Mild challenge, spicy or extra hot. Press play when you're ready to mark your work. Okay, here are your answers for mild, for spicy, for extra hot. Next, it's time for your next chili challenge. So pause the video on the challenge you'd like to complete and then press play when you're ready to mark. Here's your mild challenge, your spicy challenge, and your extra hot challenge. Press play when you're ready to mark your work. Here are your answers for mild, spicy, and extra hot. If you'd like to take your learning further, I'd like you to write a problem involving a fraction greater than 1. Maybe you could share it with somebody at home or bring it into school next time you're in to show us. Well done today, and I'll see you next time.